Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. This is Sharp Edits number 5. I'm going to show you how we can control our phone to take more accurate images, as well as edit on our phone, all with the native app on iPhone. So you don't always need fancy tools. Sometimes you could use what you have right in front of you. So today, instead of using Adobe Lightroom like I have the last few videos, I'm going to show you how you can do it all just within your camera on an iPhone. So let's dive in. We want to take a picture of this apple, all right? Now, what's cool with mini phones is that you have the ability to click on an area to control the brightness, right? So that box, a single tap, will control brightness. So it'll properly expose the area I click. The more advanced feature on nearly all phones that I could think of is to click and hold. Now, what that does is that locks the exposure as well as the focus. So a lot of people may say, oh, I need a better camera, especially for video. But the reality is, if you know the click and hold trick, you can control exposure and focus all from a phone. So this allows me to really get the image just how I want it. So you can click anywhere to get that set. So you can click in the center, you can click on the bottom, but notice what happens is it adjusts based on the area you click. What I like to do is I like to click on the edge of the object that I want to be in focus. That way it really gets it crisp. But it gets better than that, okay? Not only can you click and hold to lock the exposure and focus, you can also swipe up and down to adjust the exposure manually. So click and hold to lock, and then swipe up and down to adjust. So let me show you that right now. Click and hold to focus, and now I'm swiping up. Look at that. I can adjust brightness. I can swipe down. And while it's clicked and held, it's going to keep that. So again, for people who may think that they need a better camera to have more control, the features are all here. They're all here, and they're extremely powerful, especially for video. So for this image, I'm going to keep it right here. This looks fine to me. I'm gonna just, now that it's locked and in focus, at least from what I can see, I'm gonna click the photo button. Now from here, typically what we would do, if we're going to be doing a little bit more advanced editing, is open up a program like Lightroom, or even take it into Instagram and do some edits there. But we can go just into our gallery right here, and we're going to click on the apple image in the bottom right, and it's going to open up our image that we just took. And interesting, for whatever reason, it's cropped to the left. I've noticed that a lot lately, and I don't understand why. It's a bug within Apple. So I'm going to now click anywhere on the screen, and I'm going to click Edit on the top right. That's really bugging me with that bug. Oh man. Just for that reason. Oh, there we go. Oh, interesting. It looks like it took the whole image and it still allows me to crop. Wow, I did not know that. You learn something new every day. So whenever you're creating, sometimes you have mistakes that are bad, but a lot of times they're good. So that's really awesome to know, because I did shoot in RAW, so that means it's not a JPEG. That means it's going to be higher resolution and allow me to pull more details. So I'm going to keep it right there. That's good. Oops, I pushed done. I wasn't done. But now in here, you can simply hit this magic wand if you wanted to, and it will do all the adjustments for you. But I don't like to do it like that. I like to go old school and go one variable at a time, okay? You'll have everything from brightness to definition, and we're gonna go through each of those one at a time. You even have some presets here on some looks, similar to apps like Instagram and whatnot. But again, for this exercise, we're gonna make the edits all manual. So we're gonna adjust the exposure a little bit. I like to bring levels up so they're accurate, but I don't like to lose details. Notice the highlights on the top get lost if I drag it too far down. Brilliance. This is a little bit of contrast and saturation, it looks like. I don't want the foreground to be too distracting, so here are highlights. Now if I take them too far, you're going to lose a lot of detail. I do not like that. I don't mind dropping it a little bit though. Shadows. Again, for me, I don't want your eye to be drawn to those shadows. So at any point you could click on the original image to see what it looked like in the beginning. Contrast, I'm going to up that a little bit. Brightness. Black point, this is where the darkest black is going to be. So I typically don't like to blow out my details, so I don't have it too black. A lot of beginner photographers like to up the contrast and saturation to make something look surreal, and you know, it looks cool when you're first getting into it, but the more you edit, the more you'll start to realize that that's not really desirable. Warmth, you know, I do notice that the foreground was a little yellow because I had a fluorescent light shooting at it. So I'm going to cool it off just a little bit. Now the tint, this is reds and greens, right? So red, green, red, green. I'm going to try to just get it to where it feels accurate. Say that's okay. And now I'm going to adjust the sharpness. This will really make it pop. Make it kind of come to life. So we have a little bit more detail in there. Definition, this will add structure to the shot, so it'll make it crunch even more. That means the edges are going to be more crisp. Noise reduction, this is to reduce any details that are not intended. I don't think we have much of an issue with ours. And then vignette will adjust the borders. I could make it brighter along the borders, or I can make it darker. For this one, I'm going to make it a little darker. I noticed my highlights got a little blown out. Wow, look at all those details come out. I think it's the exposure that's doing it. There we go. So we brought out a few more details on here. I'd say it looks pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's game-changing, but what I wanted to show you was that you had the ability to do everything from your phone. You don't need any special apps, special cameras. Everything you have is really in the palm of your hands. That's that for today's little lesson. Again, very, very basic, but you do have the ability to control exposure and focus. You also have the ability to do all the editing, all within the camera that you have on your iPhone. So I hope this is helpful for you. Be sure to like and subscribe for more little tips. I'll have some more tutorials, a little more dialed in the near future. Just getting this up and rolling right now and hoping to get a formula more dialed in, get the production value more dialed in, and have the resources more dialed in. But for now, just like with anything that you want to get better at, it's really important to just create for the sake of creating, and that's really what I'm doing right here, right now. And there's a cat that you hear in a lot of my videos, and she apparently likes my drums. But I hope you all have a good day wherever you are in the world. And remember, let's all learn, share, and grow. And take care.